In autumn, Korean families gather with close neighbors and relatives to prepare kimjang. Kimjang is the process of making large quantities of kimchi to last through winter. The kimchi made during this time is stored and consumed throughout the year. By the end of the year, it becomes aged kimchi, with an increased sour taste, making it a special ingredient for stews and soups. In Korea, kimchi is both a side dish and a main dish. Koreans have even composed songs praising kimchi, with lyrics like, "Without kimchi, I can't live, really can't live." This kimchi has been a survival method that has saved a nation from starvation for 3,000 years, and a superfood coveted by the entire world. Today on Beyond History, we explore how kimchi transformed from simple preserved vegetables into a global phenomenon. This is a story of survival, innovation, resistance, and pride. This is the epic tale of kimchi. The wisdom of salt, an invention for survival. Snowstorms sweep across the Korean peninsula. The distinct four seasons of Korea presented ancient people with survival challenges during winter. Since those times, ancient Koreans have worried about how to preserve and eat vegetables throughout the winter. Around 37 BCE, in their desperation, they found a solution. Someone began soaking vegetables in salt water before winter arrived. This early kimchi, called kimchi, meaning soaked vegetables, had no spicy flavor. But this simple act determined the survival of an entire people. The Chinese Chronicle, Records of the Three Kingdoms, describes the people of Goguryeo, an ancient Korean kingdom from 37 BCE to 668 CE, as skilled in brewing alcohol and fermenting food. This shows how revolutionary fermentation technology was before refrigeration was invented. The tomb murals of Goguryeo feature large jars, which were likely the first kimchi storage containers. Another ancient Korean kingdom named Silla, during the 6th century, as the first frost falls, the entire village gathers in the fields. Elders teach young people the exact amount of salt needed, while women rhythmically prepare vegetables. This is the beginning of kimjang. Despite all these efforts, winters on the Korean peninsula remained harsh. Scurvy from vitamin deficiency was widespread, and preservation techniques were still imperfect. The decisive turning point in kimchi's history had not yet arrived. But from an unexpected place, across the Atlantic Ocean, winds of change were beginning to blow. The Red Revolution, a chance encounter that changed destiny. In 1492, Christopher Columbus lost his way in the middle of the Atlantic. Seeking India, he accidentally discovered an entirely new continent, sparking the most extensive biological and cultural exchange in world history. In this exchange, a small red fruit began its destined journey. The chili pepper was native to Mesoamerica. The Aztecs called it chili, and Spanish conquerors were captivated by its unique spiciness. But for this small fruit to reach the Korean peninsula on the opposite side of the earth, it had to travel a complex route. Portuguese sailors brought chili peppers to India, and merchants of the Mughal Empire transported them to China. Finally, in the early 1600s, during the Joseon dynasty, chili peppers arrived on the Korean peninsula. A Korean agricultural book from 1614 contains the first mention of chili peppers, calling them Western vegetables, and noting their unique heat. But the timing of the chili peppers' arrival coincided with one of the darkest periods in Korean history. From 1592 to 1598, the Japanese invasion left Korea in ruins. crops were destroyed, and famine was widespread. In this despair, the chili pepper became a savior. The red pepper was a miraculous crop. It grew well in Korea's harsh soil, added intense flavor to existing kimchi, and most importantly, its antimicrobial properties greatly extended the preservation period of fermented foods. Additionally, peppers were rich in vitamin C, helping prevent winter scurvy. When an elderly woman in a noble household first applied chili powder to cabbage, she didn't know she was changing the history of an entire nation. It was just an experiment for survival. But the experiment succeeded and soon captured the taste buds of all Koreans. Chili kimchi became not just emergency food but a desired delicacy. This unexpected intercontinental exchange forever changed the Korean dining table. The red wave, kimchi becomes a global phenomenon. Under microscopes in Seoul research labs, scientists observe the kimchi fermentation process. In the early 1980s, Korean scientists began uncovering the secrets of kimchi fermentation. They discovered that beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus were the key to kimchi's health benefits and unique taste. When preparing for the 1986 Asian Games and the 1988 Seoul Olympics, Korean officials worried that kimchi's strong aroma might offend foreign visitors. Some even suggested banning kimchi during the Olympics. However, a marketing expert's bold proposal led to the opposite approach. Instead of hiding kimchi, let's proudly introduce it to the world. This decision changed kimchi's destiny. The Seoul Olympic menu included kimchi, and foreign athletes and visitors showed curiosity about this unique food. After the Olympics, international interest in kimchi surged. An American sports star joked in an interview that Korea won many medals thanks to their secret weapon, kimchi, and this statement was reported in news worldwide. In the 1990s, kimchi became the subject of scientific research. Researchers discovered that kimchi contained antioxidants, probiotics, and immune system enhancing properties. In 2006, Korean astronaut Yi So-yeon brought kimchi to the International Space Station, officially making kimchi a space food. Even NASA scientists began showing interest in kimchi's fermentation process. Entering the 2010s, alongside the Korean wave, kimchi established itself as a global superfood. From high-end restaurants in New York to bistros in Paris, kimchi now appears on menus around the world. As microbiome research progressed, scientific evidence of kimchi's health benefits accumulated. However, kimchi's global popularity sparked unexpected conflict. In 2018, when the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, attempted to recognize China's paosai as the international standard for kimchi, it was considered a national crisis in Korea. A diplomatic conflict called the Kimchi War began over kimchi, which meant more than just food, and eventually Korea succeeded in securing a unique international standard for kimchi. At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, rumors about kimchi's immune-boosting properties spread, causing a global surge in kimchi demand. Kimchi is now more than just food, it's at the center of global health trends. In your kitchen, making kimchi easily. Today, kimchi is no longer exclusively Korean food. Now we can recreate this 3,000-year-old wisdom in our own kitchens. Let's make it simply with ingredients that are easy to find nearby. Pick up a head of cabbage from the supermarket's vegetable section. If you can't find traditional Korean cabbage, regular cabbage works well. Next, choose daikon radish. If Korean radish isn't available, turnip is a good substitute. You'll also need green onions, garlic, and ginger. Look for gochugaru, Korean red pepper powder, at Korean markets or Asian food sections. If unavailable, you can easily purchase it online. To adjust the spiciness, you can mix paprika powder with a small amount of chili flakes. Fish sauce is available in most supermarkets, but if not, additional salt can substitute. Back home, wash the cabbage and cut cross-shaped incisions in the firm part to quarter it. Soak the cabbage in salt water for about 2 hours. This method, developed by ancient Koreans for survival, forms the basis of fermentation. While the cabbage is soaking, let's travel back in time. Imagine village women gathering to prepare kimjang in the 14th century Goryeo dynasty. Their hand movements, laughter, and stories shared. Kimchi wasn't just food but a social adhesive binding communities together. Now remove the soaked cabbage, rinse it thoroughly with clean water, and squeeze out excess moisture. In a bowl, mix red pepper powder, minced garlic, minced ginger, sugar, and fish sauce. Looking at this red seasoning, imagine the innovative moment when someone in 16th century Joseon dynasty first used chili peppers in kimchi. Mix shredded radish and green onions with the seasoning, then evenly spread it between the cabbage leaves. It's important to ensure the seasoning spreads to all leaves. Think about how Korean mothers secretly taught this method to their daughters during the Japanese colonial period, preserving their culture. Pack the finished kimchi tightly into glass jars or plastic containers. Leave it at room temperature for 1-2 days to start fermentation, then move it to the refrigerator to slowly mature. The first week offers fresh, crisp flavors, while after 2 weeks, more complex and rich flavors develop. This kimchi can be eaten with rice, and when it becomes translucent, it's well matured and perfect for stews or kimchi fried rice. Initially, the strong aroma and spiciness might feel challenging, but most people become fascinated by its addictive taste after a few tries. This is how kimchi conquered the world. Kimchi is more than just a side dish. It's a symbol of human creativity and resilience. It's the crystallization of wisdom that found ways to preserve food, make it delicious, and make it healthy even during the most difficult times. That is the true epic of kimchi, an eternal story where ancient wisdom enriches the present and opens possibilities for the future.